Hello everyone, it's Miss Rofl, welcome to my new video. I decided to make this ultimate guide to tell you everything I know about animal taming and breeding in one's human. Please note that this is not a guide for beast masters. This guide is for those who wants to try animal ranching but don't know where to start. Let's go. Let's start with the basics. First of all, we need to unlock animal taming memetic. It can be found here in logistics. Just go a bit down and find the animal capture memetic. It unlocks tranquilizer throwing needle and also tranquilizer arrows. Most of the time I use needles. Both tranquilizing items can be crafted at your supplies workbench. And yeah, there is one more item which can help you catch animals, but game won't tell you this. It's Spectral Canned Mushroom, and it's food which helps you capture animals effortlessly. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on bears and on high-level crocodiles. This food can be cooked on the stove, but you will have to unlock a recipe for it first. Previously, I've made a guide showing where to find this recipe, so I will drop a link to it in the video description. Okay, now let's try to capture someone. A bear, for example. For this, let's go to the bear cave. It can be found next to Moon Lake Teleportation Tower in Chalk Peak. That's my favorite place to hunt for bears. Before trying to capture an animal, don't forget to place your tranquilizing item to your hotbar. Alright, now we are in the bear cave. You won't find a better spot to hunt for bears. Pay attention that every bear has a health bar, which shows a level, a gender of the bear, so male or female, and also pay attention to this mark on the health bar. You see this one? So basically, in order to capture an animal, you need to injure this animal, and its health should drop until this line, until this mark, or below. When mark on the health bar becomes green, you can try to capture an animal. Captured animals can be found in the Tools tab of your backpack. So here is the bear. Once the animal is captured, you can see its traits and also its grade. By the way, the worst grade is grade C and the best grade is grade S. Remember Spectral Canned Mushroom. Now let's eat one and let's see if it will work on bears. Spoiler, it won't. So here is the buff. Can you see this pink flash? This is the mushroom working. Now let's come close to the bear and try to sedate her with the mushroom. You see, flash has happened, but the bear is still awake. Now let's test Spectral Canned Mushroom on other animals. On this rabbit, for example. You just need to run close to an animal so mushroom works. You see? One flash, rabbit is sedated and you grab it. As simple as that. No need to injure the animal. Same here. By the way, rabbits are very difficult to catch using tranquilizing needles or arrows, because rabbits are tiny and fast, and also it's difficult to injure them without killing them. So if you want to catch a rabbit using just tranquilizing arrows or needles, I recommend you to first try to injure a rabbit with low tier weapon or with a basic knife. The one you get when you unequip all your other weapons. By the way, this advice applies not just to rabbits but to all other small animals and low-level animals. So yeah, to avoid all these problems, just Make sure to always have Spectral Canned Mushroom on you, like this you will never need to mess with all these needles and arrows. Well, just as I said, mushrooms won't work on bears and high-level crocodiles which can be found in Chalk Peak. Look, it will work on deers as well. By the way, if animals are running too fast to be stunned with spectral mushrooms, you can chase them on your bike. Now let's go back to my base so I can show you what to do next. Your base can hold up to 6 animals at the same time. So if you want to have more, you will have to rotate them. You can keep your animals on your Eternal Land as well, but pay attention that babies which were born on Eternal Land can't be exported from there. So now I'm recalling some of my animals into backpack to make a space for my newly captured animals. So let's take this rabbit and place her on my territory. Don't pay attention to the color, well, it's kind of a glitch. So, all freshly captured animals have 0 tameness. So, in order to proceed with this animal, you will have to tame it first. You will need to tame them at least until 80 or more % in order to be able to breed animals and also to get byproducts, if applicable, of course. In order to tame your animals, you will need to maintain their energy and hydration levels at 30% or above. Game says that you can drop food or drinks directly on the floor, but keep in mind that it will despawn after 10 minutes. So you should better use animal Trough. Here it is. But first you need to unlock it in your memetics. Same page, and the memetic is called Animal Taming. This one. It unlocks feeding Trough, plus it gives you a possibility to cook food in bags for your animals, but honestly I don't use those too often. Feeding Trough can be found in Function Facility tab in your building mode, next to Youngling Hut, which we will need a little bit later. In the past, food you placed in the animal Trough would spoil pretty quickly, but not anymore. So now don't hesitate to put the food here, it won't spoil, but pay attention, you can put it in, but you can't withdraw it. Different animals need different food. Plus, all animals have their favorite food, which helps to increase their tameness even faster, but the problem is that it doesn't always work. Sometimes animals behave weird, they start eating unusual food, or they ignore their favorite foods to eat food from bags. So yeah, don't try to understand it, I guess. Better let me show you the food I give to my animals, according to their type. This is the food I give to my animals most of the time, but of course there are better options. Like for example giving fish to your bears, but keep in mind that they won't eat all the fish. Same for vegetables and fruits, by the way. Some vegetables and fruits are ignored by animals. And also there are some special rules, for example for baby foxes. While they are small, they eat fruits instead of meat. Just try to put different types of food in your animal Trough and of course enough of water. If you have an animal which you don't need, for example you've captured one with bad traits or with bad grade, you can slaughter it and get some resources. The higher is the level of your animal's traits, the more resources you will get upon slaughtering it. And same about tameness. Higher is the tameness, more resources you will get at the end. And also, mature animals give more resources than babies. Okay, now let's talk about animal breeding. As I've mentioned before, animals can breed when they reach tameness 80 or above. In order to be able to breed your animals, you need to have a male and a female of the same species. So here I have a nice crocodile girl with a rare pattern, so let's get a boy for her. I'll take this one. Now let's place him here. If your animal is tamed enough for breeding, so 80% or more, don't forget to verify that you have allowed breeding. This setting should be toggled on. When the animal is in mating mode, it should have this indicator. If animal doesn't have this indicator, but they are supposed to be ready for breeding, you can toggle breeding off and on. If everything has worked as intended, animals will breed and you will see a mating cooldown icon. Next time this animal will be able to breed in 24 hours. You can put such animals back into storage crate and take them out when there will be breeding time. And now let's check the baby. In order to breed your animals, you have to have a Youngling Hut, so you should unlock it in memetics. After that you will be able to find it in your building menu and to build it. Once you've built your Youngling Hut, you can reset the memetic because you won't need it anymore. After a successful breeding, baby goes to the Youngling Hut, which works as a storage. So now let's get the baby and see what it has inherited. I was breeding these crocodiles just for the rare pattern, and unfortunately it didn't get inherited by baby. If one of parents has a rare pattern, there is always a chance that baby will inherit it, but it doesn't work all the time. By the way, all babies are born with 100% tameness, so you don't need to tame them again, but they need to mature. So you can release them at your territory, and 24 hours later, this baby will become mature and will be ready for breeding. Sadly, I don't really need this baby crocodile because it didn't inherit the pattern and it doesn't have any specific traits, so I will have to slaughter it. And yeah, important thing to mention, you can keep your animals in storage crate or in your backpack, like that they don't lose energy or hydration, so they don't need food or drink, they stay at their level, and also they don't lose tameness. So this is how I usually do it. I capture an animal, I tame it, I breed it, and I hide it in the box. And I repeat with other animals. But if you have an animal which brings byproducts, for example like goats, which give you golden wool or milk, these animals you have no choice to keep them on your territory as long as you want them to give you byproducts. By the way, some animals can give you quite a surprising byproducts, let's say acid, but for that they need to have a specific trait. Speaking of traits, traits are also inherited by baby. So parents have one or more traits and baby can inherit one or more of them, depending on the grade. Grade of an animal will define how many breeding attempts it will have and how many traits it can have. But pay attention that sometimes, after a lot of cycles of breeding, babies of few generations later can lose traits. For example, grade S animals normally should have 4 traits, but sometimes you will get babies with just 2 or even 1 trait. Like these wolves, for example. Well, I breed them just for wasteland hides, so they have this important trait and the rest doesn't matter to me. And yeah, pay attention, they have wasteland seed of level 3. All animal traits, they can have a level from 1 to 3. Most of the time, when you will capture an animal, it will have a level of trait 1 or 2, but 3 you can get only by breeding. So let's say you capture an animal with trait of level 1, second parent also will have trait of level 1 or level 2. After some cycles of breeding, eventually baby will have traits of level 2 or even 3, but it takes time. Of course you can get lucky, but most of the time it takes weeks of breeding to bring an animal from a trait of level 1 to trait of level 3. And yeah, of course, keep in mind that sometimes a necessary trait won't get transferred to a baby. So the less traits this animal has, the higher is the chance that the good trait will get transferred. And now please look at my wolf. It has 0 breeding attempts, which means I won't be able to breed this wolf anymore. So what I'm doing, I'm labeling this wolf. I set 3 hides, so meaning like you can slaughter and get hides. I put this wolf into the storage crate, and on my next scenario I will be able to import this wolf for just as little as 300 points, slaughter and get hides. And yeah, it costs less expensive to import an animal than to import hides, trust me. And here is the baby boy. Perfect, Wasteland Seed 3. Exactly as I wanted, so I won't complain. And now let's try to breed someone else for a rare pattern. Well, I have this crocodile with some rare markings, you see? And I also have this blue starfall crocodile, which doesn't have a rare pattern. And yeah, pay attention, this blue color, it's not really a pattern. It's considered as a solid color, and this color doesn't get transferred to babies. Well, sadly, baby didn't get the rare pattern, but anyway, as I told you, it happens not all the time. And after last year's update, it happens not as often as before. By the way, the same update killed purple bears. That's why we can't get them anymore. Alright, now let's try to breed 2 rare leopards and try to get a rare pattern baby. Finally, I got lucky, and here is the beautiful baby girl with the rare pattern. And now let's talk a bit about rare patterns, so what they are for. Well, actually, rare patterns, it's just like rare collectibles. They don't change anything about animal, it's just a beautiful appearance, nothing more. That's why a lot of people say that they're useless. Well, I don't agree. For me, it's always a pleasure to capture a rare pattern animal or to get a rare baby while breeding one of my rare animals. So it's always a nice surprise. And yeah, as we're talking about capturing rare patterns, let me tell you one thing. Guys, if you ever see a guide saying like where to capture rare pattern animals, rare pattern animals locations, etc., don't even click on these guides, because those are clickbaits. Those are lie, because there is no specific place to capture a rare pattern animal. Rare pattern animal can spawn anywhere where usual animal would spawn. So yeah, if you want to capture rare pattern animals, you go to the spot where you know there are a lot of animals of this type. For example, if you want a rare bear, you go to the bear cave and you kill animals one by one. Of course, before killing, verify that it's not a rare one. So you kill, you let them respawn, you kill again until the rare pattern respawns. This is the only way. And yeah, also nobody can tell you how long will it take to capture a rare patterned animal. Sometimes it took me like hundreds of animals killed before I got a rare pattern one, and sometimes I would randomly bump into a rare pattern animal while doing my quests, so we never know, it's random. And one more thing, all tameable animals in one's human can have rare patterns. So if you haven't found yours yet, just keep looking, you will eventually find it. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video, I hope it was helpful. I tried to tell you everything I knew about animal taming, animal breeding, so I might have forgotten about something, but well, at least I told you the most important things. So if you have further questions, don't hesitate to ask them in comments. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye!